Hi there, this is Carolyn Fetters, and I'm the creator of the Takedown Challenge and the Takedown Lifestyle Nutrition programs. I thought I'd put together a little video for you just to make sure that you have complete clarity on the Pack and Go sheet. These are very handy tools for you, but I want to make sure that you understand them so that you don't make mistakes just by accident. So the first thing that I want to talk about is this information sheet. This is the page 1 of the Pack and Go. This is really where we're explaining to you the information that's on the next page. So the most important thing about the Pack and Go is that you understand that every time you're putting a meal together, you're using all of the 3 macronutrients. Macronutrients are protein, carbohydrates, and dietary fats. Those 3 things together make one complete snack or a meal. It's very important that you understand that every time you eat, you're eating all 3 macronutrients together. They give a really important message to your body when you eat, and if you're missing one of those, we're missing part of the message. So it's important that you understand that so that we don't have that happen to you. So everything on the next sheet is in a 1-unit portion size. So if you have a 2-unit snack or a 2-unit meal, you'd simply be multiplying each column by a 2. It's really that easy. And so this is a great tool for you. You can really literally take this anywhere you need to go and you can assemble a meal. It gives you a lot of freedom as well as it gives you an education on what proper portions look like, what you need to satisfy your body, what your body is looking for every single time you eat. So I suggest you take a picture of the next page so that you have it on your cell phone or somewhere at all times, so no matter where you are, you can refer to it and you can make sure that you're doing the right thing. On this sheet, I do have a little chart, not a chart, I have a little area that I really want to make sure that I point out to you. And that's this little asterisk here that's next to this paragraph. The asterisk is referring to the protein choices. Now we know that some protein choices have saturated fat in them, such as a whole egg. So the egg yolk, while it's not unhealthy for you, more than one egg yolk can take you into a place that's not healthy. So we want to make sure when you make those choices with the asterisks next to them, you're only having one of those choices and you're making it up with a balance of something without an asterisk next to it. All right? Additionally, there are some protein choices that have an asterisk next to it that also have a carbohydrate in them, such as edamame or milk. Those are even protein and carbohydrates. So we need to talk about that when we get to the next page. And the last thing on here is I wanted to show you the freebies. So there are some freebies that you can add to your food to enhance their flavor. These are not allowed in between meals, but you can add them as much as you want, as liberally to any snack or any meal that you wish. Salsa, mustard with exception of honey mustard, any hot sauce, and any seasonings. As long as they're salt-free seasonings, they're good to go. So let's get to the chart and let's talk about how we assemble meals. All right, so you can see that these things are categorized. So the first category is protein ideas, the second one's carbohydrate ideas, and the third one is healthy or dietary fat ideas. And everything on each column is in a 1-unit portion size. So if you're making a 2-unit meal, for instance, you'd choose 2 things from here, plus 2 things from here, plus 2 things from here. So each macronutrient needs to be represented and multiplied in the proper number. You can multiply one thing or you can mix and match. All right, so let's say I wanted to have 1 whole apple. That would be 2 units worth of carbohydrates. So we'll put a meal together and we'll make sure that you understand the concepts. Now you can notice here we have the asterisk next to the whole egg, asterisk next to the cheese. Let's find all the saturated fat ones. The asterisk next to the turkey bacon. And then the next set of asterisks is next to the milk and the edamame and the hummus. Those are things that are going to have equal parts protein and carbohydrates, so we need to account for that. Let's go ahead and put together a 2-unit breakfast. Let's just assume that you have a 2-unit breakfast. Now, if your unit number is different, use your chart right now and simply multiply it in the way that works for you to make your meal work. So I have a 2-unit breakfast and I feel like having eggs. Now I like to have a little bit of yellow in my eggs, so I'm going to have 1 whole egg and then I still have 1 unit, so I'm going to have 2 egg whites. So I'm going to get a little pan. I'm going to spray in a little olive oil. I'm not accounting for that olive oil. It's okay. And then I'm going to crack in 1 whole egg and 2 egg whites and scramble that together. While that's happening, I'm going to go over to my carbohydrate options, and I'm going to make some choices here. I feel like having an apple, and I also have some really nice grapes in my refrigerator. So I get to have a half of a large apple for 1 unit, and I get to have a half of a cup of grapes for 1 unit. So I'm very excited. I get to have both things that I want, and I'm staying within my 2 units of carbohydrates. Now what am I missing? I'm missing my fat. So I know that I get to have as a freebie salsa. So what appeals to me to go with my eggs is avocado. So a half of a tablespoon of avocado is 1 unit. So I have 2 units. So I get a whole tablespoon of avocado. I get as much salsa as I want on my eggs, and I'm a happy camper. So for my protein, I have 1 whole egg, 2 egg whites. For my carbohydrates, I have a half of an apple, a half of a cup of grapes, and for my fats, I have a whole tablespoon of avocado, as much salsa as I want. That's my perfect 2-unit breakfast. See how we did that? Now, if you wanted to have 1 whole apple, you could have done that and not had the grapes. Or instead of having avocado, let's say you don't like avocado, you wanted to have almonds, you could have had 4 almonds in place of the avocado. So that's really how we're going to do this. Any meal of the day, no matter what, this is how you use this chart. So let's go ahead and put together a little bit more complicated meal. Let's put together our lunch. Now, I happen to have a 3-unit lunch. So let's look what I want. I think I'm going to have some turkey deli meat. So right here, here's the turkey deli meat. It's 1 ounce per unit, and I have a 3-unit meal. I'd also love to have some Swiss cheese. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up to the cheese, and I know that a slice of cheese is 1 ounce. I'm going to have 1 slice of Swiss cheese. I'm going to go back down to my lean turkey deli meat, and I'm going to have 2 ounces, so I'm going to weigh that out on my little food scale. Now, how am I going to have that? I think I'm going to have it open face on a sandwich because I want to have a little bit of sandwich bread, but I don't want to have too much. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to find, 1 slice of Roman meal is 1 unit of carbohydrate, so that's perfect. So I'm going to make an open face sandwich with my cheese and with my turkey. So I still have 2 more units of carbohydrates that I have to work out. So what am I going to do for that? Well, I happen to love vegetables, so I'm going to go down. Here's vegetables. So a half of, let's see, where are they? It was a half of a sandwich size Ziploc bag. Let's find that. Where did we have that? I know it's here. Let's find it together. There we are. A half of a sandwich Ziploc bag of any fresh vegetables. I have jicama, I have carrots, I have cucumber, I have tomatoes, I have bell peppers. I get a whole sandwich size Ziploc bag to go with my 1 slice of Roman meal to make this a perfect 3-unit meal. So what a great lunch for me. What am I missing? I'm missing something to go on my bread, and that's likely going to be fat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to the fat column, and I love a little bit of mayonnaise, but not too much. So I'm going to have 2 teaspoons of olive oil mayonnaise, and then I'm going to smash on there a half of a tablespoon of avocado, and then I think I might even put some freebie Dijon mustard on that. And then I'm going to put on my 1 slice of cheese, and then I'm going to put on my 2 ounces of lean turkey deli meat, and I've got my perfect lunch. So I've got an open face sandwich on 1 slice of bread with my mayonnaise and my avocado and Dijon. I have a whole Ziploc bag full of fresh vegetables. The more color, the better. And I'm just perfect. I've got the perfect meal. I'm so excited. So that's a 3-unit meal. I could have that anytime I have a 3-unit meal. It doesn't matter if it's breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or snack. As long as I stay in my unit portions, that's how I'm going to use this chart. Let's see, just a little bit of tip on here at the very bottom right in the fat category. I have a little example of what we just did, just to remind you. And then I also have a little key. There's only 2 things on here that I had to use an abbreviation for, and that's extra virgin olive oil, and that's extra virgin coconut oil. So you can see how to use this chart. I think it will really help you to be successful It's a great tool for you to have. Take a picture of it. Make sure you have it with you at all times. Don't try to commit it to memory. I've been doing this for, gosh, I don't even know, over 20 years, and I still forget. So just make sure that you have it so that you can refer to it whenever you need to. There's really nowhere that you can't eat anymore. I mean, literally, you could go to a convenience store these days and you could put a meal together. So you're going to be successful. I'm very excited for you. Congratulations. And I'm really excited for you to be on this journey.